This week on Asbury AM, we've got a great show lined up for you. Class registration opens in just a few days, so we are showing you how to register for your classes. With special guest, Professor Lisa Jones, joining us in the studio to talk about her new class. Then to celebrate the spooky season, we have a special spooky surprise for you. We have our weekly student spotlight with Cora Taylor to discuss her acting, costume making, and cosplay group. We have your weekly news update and more, starting now.
Good morning and welcome back to Asbury AM. I'm Addie.
And I'm Asa. Thanks for joining us. If you haven't tuned in yet, we are Asbury's very own morning talk show.
And we are so excited to bring you some new fun content every week.
We have a great show lined up for you today.
College can be very difficult between classes and homework, but it can be made easier if you choose the correct classes. With that being said, registration for the 2023 spring semester began yesterday and times for registrations have been assigned.
Thankfully, Courtney Kawada takes us through a step-by-step process for how to register for classes next semester. Let's take a look.
The leaves are changing colors, students have returned from fall break, and midterm season is over. Now it's time to start planning for class registration. Academic Records System Coordinator Hannah Schultz gave us a rundown on how to register for classes.
First, you need to log into your Asbury portal. Once you log into your account, you'll be prompted with some different areas about your student account. Under the academic services, there's a tab called Register for Classes. When you click on this link, you should be able to see all of the classes that you are able to register for. You're also able to search by either the department or the course code. Before you register for classes, we do recommend that you take a couple additional steps to ensure that your registration is smooth. So first of all, we recommend connecting with your advisor to make sure that you have an idea of what courses you would like to take for the coming semester in order to complete your degree requirements on time. We also recommend that you check the portal to ensure that you don't have any holds that need to be resolved before you're able to register. If you log into the portal, you should be able to see your holds that are currently on your account, along with which office has placed those holds.
Registration for the 2023 spring semester will continue for the next couple of weeks, so be sure to stay on top of it as classes will be filling up fast for next year. On the topic of class registration, there are new classes being created each semester that students should check out. This morning we have Lisa Jones in the studio with us today.
Hi Asa, thanks for inviting me.
Thanks for joining us. So you started the instructional design program at Asbury. Could you tell our viewers more about that?
Sure. Instructional design is probably the career path that you've never heard of, but you've actually used things that were created by an instructional designer. Instructional design is really kind of the blend of education and technology. And we say that we create learning experiences for people. So if you've ever taken an online course and done that completely online, you went into something like Discovery or Blackboard, an online setting, then an instructional designer created that. And they use educational methods and training methods as well as some really cool tech tools in order to create that.
So what made you want to start a program in instructional design? I
really fell in love with instructional design whenever I was in undergrad. I thought I was going to go on to be a high school teacher. And I started using in about 2003 or 4, which is the really early days of using the internet and online education in higher ed, and I was invited to do that. So I started using some of those tools and I just fell in love with it, getting to use the kind of newest technology. I remember when the iPhone came out and we started using that in class and creating lecture capture and things like that. So as things grew and became more involved, and you saw that whenever we went through the COVID-19 crisis and everyone put their classes online and they also worked online. So that involves a lot of pretty high technical components as well as knowing how to teach and learn and train in an online setting, and it just really ignited my passion for that.
So students will be registering for classes in the next few days. Why should a student enroll in this program?
Well, I really want to encourage students, especially if you have an elective or you need an elective for this semester, or you're maybe not really sure what your career path is. We have a class this semester, and you'll see that ID 199. It's Intro to Instructional Design, and there you will find out all about what instructional design is and how your future career could be designed around that.
And finally, what advice would you give a student who's thinking about going into the instructional design program?
I always tell my students to always go out and check and search, just do a Google search on instructional design and you'll see how many jobs are out there. There are literally hundreds of thousands of jobs right now in various areas. It's not just educational. You can work for huge companies like Amazon, Google, for the military, for nonprofit. Even churches use instructional designers. So I think you'll be surprised if you go out and just check that out, how many possibilities are out there for instructional designers.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Professor Jones. For more information on instructional design, be sure to stop by Lisa Jones' office on the second floor of Miller. Coming up, Halloween is just a week away and we wanted to give you some spooky season content worthy of the ghoulish day. We went around campus asking some holiday-themed questions, but with a spooky twist. Let's check it out after the break.
There is always so much going on around campus. News anchor Noah Clark is here to give you the weekly update and fill you in on recent campus events. Take it away, Noah.
Thanks, Addie. Asbury's event calendar might list it as just a fall festival, but the Ignited Class Cabinet definitely put on something much more special than just that. Ending off of last week, the sophomore class cabinet decided to put on a release party held at WGM for Taylor Swift's new album, Midnights. The event held a plethora of fun activities for the night, including karaoke, trivia, food and drinks, and s'mores in the WGM background. The event lasted from 6 to 9 p.m., full of community and friendship with one another, along with a ton of energy for the karaoke that could last till way after midnight. Swift's album officially released at 12 a.m. on October 21st. This is now the 10th recorded album of her career. That very same night, the Asbury Worship Arts Department hosted probably the most anticipated spiritual event of each month, Worship Hymn at Midnight, or commonly known at Asbury as WHAM. And though the event actually starts at 10:30, it almost always ends way past the midnight hour. Students came to this event to have a time of praise and worship held in Hughes Auditorium. There was even a theme for the night where everyone who came was given a glow stick, creating a colorful atmosphere for the widespread campus community to lift up the name of Jesus in praise and exaltation. WHAM also had a guest speaker come to deliver the message for the night, alumni Jimmy Roper, graduate of 2016, who is now the lead student pastor of Grace Community Church. The next WHAM is scheduled to occur on November 11th. On Saturday night, the Asbury Student Activities Cabinet hosted its annual Harvest Festival on the Aldersgate Green. Students on campus and families across Wilmore were invited to come to this fall-like festival to have a wonderful time of food and drink, fall-flavored treats, fun and games in various forms, prizes to win, and even soothing music playing in the background. All those who came were also able to partake in the vendors market in the middle of the festival. Students, staff, and the Wilmore community were given tables to sell their own merchandise for those who attended, bringing out all sorts of products for sale for this fall season. The event lasted for around a 2 hours period, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. last Saturday evening. And while the field of Aldersgate was bustling right next to the Harvest Festival, the Girls' Dorm Hall of Kresge brought to life their yearly spooky season event of Kresge Candyland. This Halloween-themed event is done by the student residents of Kresge Hall, but the event itself is particularly targeted towards the younger audience. Families across Wilmore brought their children to this playful Halloween extravaganza to have them entertained by various activities, including photo shoots, cookie decorating, face painting, and loads of other games to win candy and all sorts of treats. This event is held every year for the Halloween season, bringing loads of joy and fun to Asbury campus, and especially to the children of Wilmore. That's all that we've got today for your local news. Back to you, Asa.
Fall sports are beginning to wrap up on campus this week. Spencer Harvey is in the list to give us a volleyball update. Spencer?
Thanks, Asa. Today I'm here at the Loop, where tonight the volleyball team will play their last game of the season. It is also their senior night, so Asbury students, make sure you come support the seniors as they play their last game on our home court. Despite the change of coaches, the volleyball girls have put in a lot of hard work this season under their new coach, Tiffany Horton. Coach Horton was a former D1 volleyball player who has done an amazing job with her new team. They've had a competitive schedule with some really intense games. Some of the players have accumulated leading stats from seniors all the way to freshmen, and they are looking to continue that and end their season strong tonight with a win. ASC is sponsoring the event tonight with games and giveaways in between sets, so make sure you come out and support our girls and maybe win some merch and stickers and other options. So make sure you wear pink tonight because we are hosting Pink Out. Let's support our Eagles, Asbury. Asa.
Thanks, Spencer. Volleyball senior night will begin at 6:30, and don't forget ASC will be there with giveaways and prizes. So be sure to come out and support your Eagles as they play their last game of the season.
We want your interactions with the show.
Each week we post a new trivia question to our Instagram story to get you involved.
Let's check out this week's question.
Last week, the trivia question was, what is the minimum number of people needed per team for a soccer game? The answer is 7. This week, our question is centered around Halloween. What were originally used as the first jack-o'-lanterns? A. Watermelons, B. Pumpkins, C. Carrots, or D. Turnips? Check out our Instagram at Asbury AM to submit your answer. We will reveal it on the show next week, so be sure to check it out.
Since Halloween is coming up, Asa and I went around campus asking students Halloween-inspired questions like, what are you dressing up as, and what is your favorite scary movie? But with each question came a spooky and unexpected twist. Let's check it out.
This week we went around asking people some of their favorite Halloween things. Addie, what's one of yours?
My favorite is Halloween movies and horror movies because I think they're really funny because I don't get scared. And I like The Orphan the best, so everybody go check it out. It's a really, really good one.
Let's take a look. Okay, so you like movies then, right?
Yeah.
So what's your favorite like Halloween scary movie?
Halloween scary movie. I don't know. It's been a minute. I probably
What are you gonna be from?
I'm going to be you.
Okay, and you, AJ?
I'm gonna be bread because bread is my biggest fear and I want to become my fears this Halloween.
I changed mine. I want to be bread because I want to be AJ's biggest fear for Halloween.
I think you already are AJ's biggest fear. He's just lying. All right, so what's your favorite like Halloween scary movie? So what's your favorite Halloween candy?
I love Milky Ways.
Milky Ways, cool. So what is your favorite like scary movie to watch like during Halloween?
I don't like worm. Oh my god.
So what is your like favorite scary movie to watch during Halloween?
Probably I like The Shining.
So what's your favorite like Halloween like candy?
Reese cup.
Favorite Halloween movie?
You were looking.
That failed. What's your favorite like Halloween movie?
I don't celebrate it that often.
So,
what's your favorite thing about fall?
that it's a bit cooler. Like you're not so.
Did I get you?
Are you like a fan of like pumpkin spice or anything like that?
That depends on what I'm having it on. Like for example, like in the not the cafeteria, but the bistro. What's the place called?
The Hiccup.
Thank you, the Hiccup. They have this like the chocolate milkshake covered with it.
Good. Yeah, you're talking about like the fall drinks, right?
Yes.
So thank you so much for being with us today. And we're doing like a little segment. We're gonna ask you like what you're gonna be for Halloween. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Maybe you should think twice the next time someone asks you to be interviewed. You never know who could be lurking behind your shoulder.
Each week we feature a new student and something cool they are involved in here at Asbury. After the break, Gabe sits down with Cora Taylor for this week's Student Spotlight. Stay tuned.
So some of these guys, I'll see them every couple of weeks for 10 or 15 minutes at a time. And over time, they become friends of yours. And I've made so many friends in Wilmore because of this. And that's probably been the most rewarding aspect of being a barber here at Wade's in Wilmore.
Student Spotlight is a time to give many Asbury students some much-deserved recognition. This week, Gabe sat down with Cora Taylor to give us an inside look on costume design and the Cosplay Club. Let's take a look.
Hi, Asbury AM, and welcome back to your Student Spotlight. With me today, I have Cora Taylor, Vice President of the new Asbury Cosplay Club, set up in fall of 2021. Cora, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so what inspired you to get into making costumes, and what have you done with it so far?
So how I actually got started making costumes was I actually wanted to make things for myself, like dresses, outfits, etc. I went to a theater in West Virginia, and there the costume manager was a friend of ours, and she went, well, bring her over once a week, and she'll either help me with costumes, or you'll pay me $50 a lesson, and that's how you'll pay me for teaching her.
Okay, so you've made a costume. And what sort of costumes have you made? And have you done any like big events with that over these past few years before starting the club?
First big one was doing an original costume called Blue Angel, which was an original character of mine. And that's how I actually learned how to make foam armor and weapons, which was really fun. Most recent / biggest achievement so far has actually been doing costumes for the sophomore musical last year, which was, you know, the Little Mermaid. Super fun.
And then making the club itself, how's it been running it so far?
So running the club so far has been a blast. It's mostly been trying to figure out what works best and why, because we have like varying skill ranges or varying sets from people who, you know, are really good at what they do or have just gotten started, or somebody likes doing 3D printing, someone likes makeup, someone likes thrifting costumes, and people like me who like to make from scratch. So it's just trying to figure out the balance and the network between all of them.
Thank you for being here and answering our questions. It's been a delight to have you. Everybody, go to their event on October 28th. I know I'll probably show up as some dumb pun like Nickelback or something like that. Ah, nice. Well, yeah. Back to you guys in the studio.
Make sure you check out that costume bash on October 28th in the Luce Auditorium.
There is so much going on in the entertainment industry right now.
That's right, we have a great Hollywood Minute for you this week.
You saw him on the big screen and in cult classics like Indiana Jones and Star Wars. Now Harrison Ford is connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, yet another series empire.
The famous K-pop group BTS is taking a break and joining the military, and we have a look at a new musical coming to Netflix soon.
Let's take a look.
Being part of a story that as complex and as interesting to me as this was the real draw.
Harrison Ford is joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe. According to multiple reports, Ford will take over the role of General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, beginning with Captain America: New World Order, due out in 2024. He'll take over the MCU role from William Hurt, who died in March. Members of K-pop supergroup BTS are joining the military. South Korean law requires almost all able-bodied men to complete 18 months of military service. Jin, the oldest member of the group, aims to start the process at the end of this month, with others joining at different times. Their label, Big Hit Music, expects BTS to reconvene in 2025.
When I grow up, once upon a time, there was a little girl who was trapped. When I grow up. This is the story of her great escape.
Here's your first look at Roald Dahl's Matilda the Musical, based on the award-winning stage show, with Alicia Weir as Matilda, Latasha Lynch as Miss Honey, and Emma Thompson as Miss Trunchbull. Roald Dahl's Matilda the Musical debuts December 25th on Netflix. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, that's all we have for you today, Asbury. Thank you for tuning in, and we are so excited to be bringing you news and updates every week.
Next week, we have some sports updates and election information you're not going to want to miss.
Have a great Halloween, and see you next week, Asbury.